Welcome back to the trading table. Hope everyone's having a great Mother's Day weekend. Jumping into this week, we're going to be watching some pretty important things here. We do have Jerome Powell speaking on Wednesday, I believe. And we also have inflation data coming out. Looking at the SPY here, we can see that in the aftermarket, it is down. On Friday, it did have a nice little downtrend here before rising back up intraday. Towards the end of the day, it closed at 521 and then had a sell-off down to the 519.89 level. Jumping to our first play for this week, me and Landon are going to be watching Mara pretty closely here. You got any thoughts for Mara, Landon?
Yeah, I'm really loving the upside potential for Mara.
Yeah, Mara, it follows Bitcoin very, very closely here. So whatever Bitcoin does, Mara will normally follow. So Bitcoin, it's always something that will come back up. It's just a matter of when. So we're going to be watching Mara really closely here. If it breaks the 17.5 level, I might be looking at some calls here, depending on the momentum. But if it breaks this 17 level and it has good downtrend momentum, I mean, we could see it drop pretty low here because 17 is decently high for Mara. You could see here on the 30th of April, we were down to 15.21, and on the 17th of April, we were down to 14.20 here. So let's keep a close eye on Mara for this week and make some great trades. Jumping over to our next stock to watch, we have NVDA, right? And in the last few videos, I have called out some NVIDIA plays here, and they went pretty well. At market open, NVIDIA is always very, very volatile. So if you can play that momentum correctly, you can have a great day in the first 10 minutes of trading. So a lot of opportunity here with NVIDIA and chip stocks in general if these premiums are a little too expensive, because they do really hit. These premiums are very expensive. So AMD also correlates with NVIDIA, as you could see. And TSM, not as much, but definitely if the chip stocks are moving, TSM's also moving. Jumping to earnings for this week, not a lot going on. A few notable China stocks are reporting, such as Baba, JD. You have Walmart also reporting. Jumping over to Apple here, Landon's got some thoughts for the long term.
Yeah, I'm really loving the Apple play for the long run. Apple hasn't released their own version of AI, but when they do, I'm expecting a massive move up. Based on 32 Wall Street analysts offering 12-month price range targets, Apple in the last 3 months has had an average price of 204 with a high forecast of 250 and a low forecast of 164. The average price target represents a 10% change from the last price of 184.
Yeah, Apple's always a great stock to invest in. I'm pretty sure we went over this in the video on Friday, but Apple is pretty high right now. So if you were going to hop in for the long term, I would wait for a better price to get in. But definitely a great option here with Apple. Can't go wrong there. Jumping over to our next stock, we have Disney, right? Disney, not so much a great stock to day trade, in my opinion. I mean, you can, but for the long term hold, I'm going to say I definitely picked up some shares here in this dip. Earnings came out. Disney, had a pretty, bad earnings report. It wasn't completely terrible, but the stock price of Disney was pretty high, so that's the reason for the drop. This 105 point is great to pick up some shares at, as Disney will always rebound, and I'm sure they're just one more Disney movie away from making a big move back up to that 123 peak. Jumping over to PDD now, Landon's got some information here.
So here at the table, we always love to follow the money. So here are some of my favorite following the money plays. My first, I'm going to start with PDD calls, right? There's a total number of 1.53 million total premiums for PDD calls. That's at a strike price of 150 by the 31st of this month. And there's also a total volume of 5.1K. Jumping to our next following the money play, I'm really loving this Amazon call for a strike of 200 by July 19th. There's a total number of 700K premium stacked up there with a total volume of 1.74K.
Yeah, Amazon is a great stock to invest in here, especially for the long term, as they're always progressing. I would definitely say if you're gonna follow this play, I'd wait for a better buy-in, as Amazon is pretty high right now. But if you do get that, good price, like this 165 mark down here, that would be a great price to pick up some calls on.
And then lastly, for our following the money play, we have PPE calls for a strike price of 30 by the 18th of next month. There's a total number of 800K premium stacked up, and there's a total volume of 2.37K.
Yeah, I mean Pfizer, they are pretty low right now. Here at December 2021, they were sitting at 61.8 for their price, and they've had over a 53% decline here in about 3 years. So Pfizer is pretty low right now. This could be a great play, but it's definitely something to watch and be wary of. Well, that's all for the trading table today. Make sure to tune into our free Discord where we go over plays, give some guidance, and it's community fed. Hope everyone has a great rest of the weekend, and I'll see you guys on Monday.